So much going on with the president-elect Donald Trump. You know, vacation time, you would think. He's down in Palm Beach at Mar-a-Lago, but he's still working. The transition team is still doling out all kinds of new people that they're naming, and he even put out a video wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he did. It was a nice video. Let's take a look at this.
We've just finished a long and bruising political campaign. Emotions are raw and tensions just don't heal overnight. It doesn't go quickly, unfortunately. But we have before us the chance now to make history together, to bring real change to Washington, real safety to our cities, and real prosperity to our communities, including our inner cities. So important to me and so important to our country. But to succeed, we must enlist the effort of our entire nation. Because when America is unified, there is nothing beyond our reach, and I mean absolutely nothing. Let us give thanks for all that we have, and let us boldly face the exciting new frontiers that lie ahead. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
A little Star Trek reference in there, boldly faced.
Only you would pick that up, Clayton.
What I love about this is he's going around the media right now. He played the media like a fiddle during the campaign season, right? But he's saying, you know what, I'm not going to do a press conference. I'm going to release this on YouTube because you know what, the mainstream media was really mean to me during the campaign. I'm not going to deal with you guys, and I'm just going to release this on YouTube.
But he's going to have to engage at some point. He's going to have a news conference.
Of course.
And we had the same pressure when Barack Obama was, you know, president-elect and was coming to power, and he had news conferences early on, but he also tried to go around us, and he would put all these videos out there, holiday messages. And what's interesting to me is that I didn't hear the media a lot, you know, back then saying, what is Barack Obama doing, going around us,
right,
you know, with his own photos, you know, he's got his own photographer who put out these wonderful images of him behind the scenes, the videos that he would throw out there. And so now Donald Trump is doing it, and you're starting to hear, what is this about? He's going around us. And there's a little bit more anger because it seems like the media wants a fight, just as he's talking about unity. So
yeah, well, you know, he did sit down with the New York Times just a couple of days ago.
And he sat down with the Wall Street Journal.
And the Wall Street Journal. And, you know, they were tweeting out about that whole interview process. You do have to say that he is talking to the media.
However,
he will have to do press conferences. But this tone that we've heard from Mr. Trump since he's won has been one of unifying this country, which you look back at the campaign, and I think everyone is ready for it.
It was tough.
Sort of
it was nasty.
Together. It was nasty.
However, if you look at press media websites over the past week, they are trying to raise money. They're saying we need to cover the Trump presidency. We want it to be fair. We're going to fight fair and free journalism. Donate money to us. Subscribe to us. You're hearing this from Slate Magazine, New York Times, other places. And Christiane Amanpour yesterday at a press freedom event, at CNN's press freedom event, had this to say. Listen.
That is how it goes with authoritarians around the world, like Sisi, like Erdogan, like Putin, like the Ayatollahs. First, the media is accused of inciting, then sympathizing, then associating, and then suddenly they find themselves accused of being full-fledged terrorists and subversives, and then they end up in handcuffs, in cages, in kangaroo courts, in prisons, and then who knows what. We have to be prepared to fight, especially hard right now, for the truth.
You know, I think the biggest takeaway from this entire election was this disconnect that exists clearly between the media and much of this country that was obviously feeling very differently about what they wanted for their next president.
That's such a good point.
But Larry O'Connor was on Tucker Carlson last night basically saying, hey, media, take a look in the mirror. It could actually be your problem. Take a listen to what he had to say.
The real threat to journalism is the fact that they were so wrong about what they told us was the truth of this election. They focused how many months on polls that they've now found were in error. They never really talked about issues. They didn't talk about what these candidates were saying and what they stood for. They talked about their own narrative, and they continue to do so. That's the threat to journalism because the American people, as she pointed out, they're ignoring them now. They don't trust them.
I remember James Rosen. I mean, we're talking about the Obama administration. You remember James Rosen? Do you remember what happened with the Obama administration and looking into Fox News?
Being targeted, phone records and all of that. And there were some journalists who stood up, but not the way you're seeing now. You know, like, let's stand up to Donald Trump.
Why do you think that is, Ed? What are they struggling with so much?
I want to go back to Christiane Amanpour here, because I think Larry O'Connor made an important point about trust, and that is an important issue here. But for Christiane Amanpour to basically compare Donald Trump to various dictators dictators, an Ayatollah, and Erdogan in Turkey, who is a strongman, basically, and then saying if you stand up to these kind of men, what happens is you wind up in cages if you're a reporter. Okay, maybe in Turkey, but
Not
the
here.
idea that here in the United States, reporters are going to wind up in cages?
Well, and
cages?
Well, she talks about truth being this arbiter of truth, and whose truth? To your point about Middle America, and when you're out there at these rallies and they're saying, look, there's signs everywhere for Trump, and the mainstream media is saying it's Hillary Clinton territory, or that she's up in the polls, and the people that are living in these towns are saying, where are the Hillary Clinton supporters? I don't even see them in my backyard, but that's what the media is telling us.
That's exactly what we've heard, and we've been out at these diners across the country, and that's when I've really realized the disconnect, when I hear from these voters, and then I'm watching different channels and reading different papers, and I'm like, there's something going on here that they're just not understanding what the voters are actually feeling, what they're wanting.
I have some friends who own restaurants around the country.
I would love
they keep
that.
saying, why has Abby not come to my restaurant?
Email me.
And I'm not kidding. I have restaurants. They want you there.
I will serve them coffee.
We're going to do a tour.
I will make them pancakes. I'm getting pretty good at making pancakes these days. But we do want to get
You're better at this.
We have a lot more to get to this morning, because President-elect Donald Trump diversifying his cabinet, tapping a second high-profile woman to join his team.
Yeah, Garrett Tenney is live for us in Washington, D.C. with the latest on Mr. Trump's newest pick this morning. Garrett, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving and good morning to y'all. You know, both of these latest picks have made a lot of Republicans very happy. We now know that Betsy DeVos will be President-elect Trump's nominee to head the Department of Education. DeVos, who is a former chairwoman of the Michigan Republican Party, brings a deep background in education reform with her. She's a longtime advocate and national leader in the school choice movement. Her husband is heir to the Amway fortune, and the couple has been very active in Republican politics for decades. Even some of Mr. Trump's harshest critics are praising this decision. On Twitter, Jeb Bush said she is an outstanding pick for Secretary of Education. I look forward to her bold leadership at the U.S. Department of Education. And Bill Kristol wrote, very excited about Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary. Could be strongest since my boss Bill Bennett, and Betsy will have a far more cooperative Congress. DeVos has been a strong supporter of Common Core standards, though, something that Mr. Trump has been very opposed to. The Trump team says that it is his agenda that she will be pushing, not her own, though. Back to y'all.
All right, that's an important distinction there. Garrett,
all right, thanks
for that. We'll see you soon.
We want to get right over now to Kristen Fisher on this Thanksgiving morning with some headlines.
Good
Happy
morning,
Thanksgiving.
Kristen.
Good morning.
Saw you trying to carve that turkey this morning.
I know. I even ate a piece of meat, and I haven't eaten meat in 3 months.
How do you feel?
The things you do for live
girl.
television, right?